A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eater. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the... He doesn't know what your connection... Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your... He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Ah, you're too sharp to fall for that. Let me guide you into the light.
Wait, what? No, you were off to such a great start.
I always knew you had a good heart.
Just think of yourself, would you? The world is ending.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out-of-Date. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you He believes you share Jackney's view on the world. Regardless, he'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. Hardened. That's the Jackney tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Says they're cautious of non-out. Says the Sifu gets to choose who sees the Sifu, but he'll let you give it a try.
Zata is the mój totloho. Kariesne stace. Paro, ja put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunk, the wall that separates them from the other side. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that, so embracing that side of you... He didn't expect that of you. You were born bad so you could do good in this world. That weak mind of yours has made you soft. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war, and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong side. And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad Stone Fort before... It was built on the back of many, including us, and claimed by Myriad when the construction was abandoned after the attack on the old village. It was your Muma's vision for a new home for us all. It's time to say goodbye for now. And if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever, then the next will mean the end for you. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. Swoon. Let's see. Let's see. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says the Sifu gets to choose who sees the Sifu, but he'll let you get...
Sibi? La fanen aginkan man. Geratna fal hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came from? He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He's convinced there's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with the Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire... You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will... He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even though you don't share their values, they hope you'll lead with mercy. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with... They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to combat violence. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a... He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember. Let's see. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing. Goop says some choose to be lonely because no one understands what they're going through. If that's you, he'll try to help you if you let him. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Knowing how to swim won't solve life's hard problems, but at least one of them won't be drowning. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? At least you learned that you'll drown if you don't swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. He's sure you'll have to face the consequences of that sooner or later anyway. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn. He knows that's not true. You've just made up your mind you're not. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something.
Ansonbara.
You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go.
Kalino? Masamal.
She's not unhappy with your progress, but you still have a lot to prove.
Kalino?
You should know, practice makes perfect.
Kalino?
She says nobody is perfect. That's why you practice.
Volakamun Rukna.
She'll see you at the village square.
Narolute. Pialtuma.
She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. His only interest. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You should look for things that are recyclable. He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert, but sometimes he just does what's right. He can work wonders with almost... That's the spirit. You can't make a difference He'd love to teach you to... You did well, but he can't help but wonder. He appreciates. He understands, but hopes you won't be... He thinks... He's looking for... It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants... You'll continue to build on the basics. Talent... She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before... That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. She wants you to understand that whatever path you choose in life, you must stay true to yourself. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and... He says that it's not too late. There's no way that... He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better. She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Can't see.
She says it's nice of
Dere?
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Sana jo tutupu.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Tukonda. Inga valdo.
You won't need excuses if you are strong in your conviction. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best.
Goga bada mada bulshada.
Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Badja analog.
Training with
Ka vaksan u intabadan kaproven.
He'll talk.
Segaya lama yaba. Kidlo.
He's curious to see what you found. He says whatever it is,
Bon amanka.
he can work wonders with
Intabadam wagsu kundu.
He says it.
Me. Fiona.
The style might be too edgy for...
Und Lumpfarbs so und Lumpfarbs waxan nach Kale Segi. Si logo bachtin in Mo.
He's looking for...
Anson bara.
Your Muma says it's about time.
Anson bara.
Hopes.
Drabalo. Sana jote. Inadab sunka.
But there's enough time left for
Andro.
That's a good...
Yo no massa man baru.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Kamonu.
That's all she's...
Ruhemuk tono. Yo varse no casa man baru. Brumble eller marsa man. Kalino?
That's why you should... Catchy.
Ritsentende.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus that...
Domale tuku.
Figuring that out is
Tropalo. Minä lagi mamuru.
a piece of scraptronics like...
Antoro.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to...
Dere.
You're lucky to...
Ala.
Your Mooma says you look tired.
Asanna jotutupu.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupa from setting the world on fire. Your Mooma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Mooma says this is it. There's...
Kalino, domale tu trova.
She tells you to stay back.
Kototuku, minä lagi mamuru.
Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Mooma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.